I'm Peter Hayton, Clinical Director and Senior Psychologist at the Banyans. And today we're having a chat about alcohol and our relationship with it, particularly as Australians. It's a part of our society, our culture and our family. So let's have a look at that together. We know that alcohol plays a significant relationship in our families, in our Australian way of life, and in our society. And often what we notice is that it's a partner or a family member who often sees the signs of somebody drinking a little bit too much. So it's important to have a look at what's going on and notice what's happening and speak up a little bit about that. A concerned partner may believe that things are getting out of control, and here are some tips and some things to focus on to help you sort through those issues of concern. So how do we identify that a loved one has a drinking problem? What are some of the signs that we need to watch out for to see that things may be getting out of control? I think an important thing is noticing how often somebody drinks. If they're drinking earlier in the day, there's a bit of a cause for concern, and we need to be watching out for that. Avoidance of non-alcohol related activities can be another sign. Like, if the person's always got to go to the party where there's plenty of booze, and avoid the situation where there's that family that don't drink, we're not going to go out with them. Those kind of things can be a little bit of a warning sign. Of course, using alcohol as a primary coping mechanism for things like tiredness at the end of the day, I've just had such a busy day, I can't wait to get home and get a drink, those kind of issues, they are causes of concern. And these are some of the areas that we need to watch out for, because it's an indication that maybe we're drinking a little bit too much, or maybe the person we're connected with is starting to develop a bit of a pattern or an issue that we might need to address. Let's also have a think about the issues and the fallout that occurs when somebody's drinking a little bit more than what they should. What we notice often is there's dishonesty around alcohol. They underreport what they're drinking, they hide booze away, things like that. That dishonesty around alcohol and its consumption can be a little bit of a warning sign and something to watch out for. Of course, our bodies respond to alcohol in such a way that we actually have to drink more to get the same effect. So if we're drinking alcohol for some effect, we'll notice somebody with problematic drinking starts to drink more. They might have been consuming half a bottle of wine, that increases a bottle of wine, 2 bottles of wine, and of course it can go from there if we're not careful. Mood swings, another area to watch out for. Of course, alcohol shifts our emotional positioning, and it can make us more depressed, which can lead to anger and agitation. Alcohol is a depressant, and so we need to watch out for that kind of like that depressed effect even after the drinking is finished, and certainly anger and agitation during drinking and also after. Isolation is another one to watch out for. Sometimes a person who's consuming too much alcohol can become isolated or isolate themselves away. That's probably an effect of depression and the depressant that we're consuming too much of. It leads us to disconnection with others. Irritability, especially when we address the issue or we talk about cutting back or stopping drinking, that can be a bit of a red flag too, and something that can impact the relationship quite significantly. What we want to watch out for is using alcohol as a negative coping mechanism, a maladaptive coping mechanism. Sometimes it's okay to have a couple of drinks and that's all right, but when it becomes too much or become reliant on it, that's when it becomes maladaptive, because we can't live life without it. Even if it is the half a bottle of wine, the bottle of wine a night, not living life without it becomes a bit of a problem, and it's maladaptive for us. So what do we do when we're ready to address the issues, or we feel like there's an opening or a window of opportunity to speak to our loved one about their alcohol consumption? I guess what we've got to do is be careful of those problem relationship issues that can be there. They can drive the consumption a little bit more, but we want to be looking for opportunities to have a chat and talk about them. Certainly encouraging someone along the lines of getting treatment, even researching treatment options before you've been able to have a chat to them can be a really good thing to do. When you find that you've got that opportunity, be careful that, and be expected that there could be some pushback. Some people need more time to think about things. Being persistent when dealing with this issue is really, really important. And I think one of the best things that we can do is help them believe in a future, help them believe in their capacity to address this with some help or some support, but believe in a future where they're free from this kind of burden, they're free from this aggravation, and there's a life for them after alcohol. Believe it or not, people who've got that kind of unhelpful relationship with alcohol find it difficult to believe that. So encouraging them and helping them along those lines are really helpful. But reach out and get support. These things are not easy to deal with ourselves, and so giving our doctor a call, getting online and looking for some services that might be able to help us, a really important thing to do when we've got a loved one who's struggling with alcohol. Thank you very much for your time.